Okay, good morning students. Now we'll discuss about the problems in electromagnetic induction. So example 9.11, Kamala pedals a stationary bicycle. The pedals of the bicycles are attached to a 100 turn coil of area 0.1 meter square. The coil rotates a half revolution per second and it is placed in a uniform magnetic field of 0.1 Tesla perpendicular to the axis of rotation of the coil. What is the maximum voltage generated in the coil? So here the coil is rotated in a uniform magnetic field, that is nothing but AC generator like. So Kamala pedal stationary bicycle, the pedals of the bicycle are attached to a 100 turns coil. So the coil number of turns capital N is equal to 100 and the area is equal to 0.1 meter square and the coil rotates half a revolution per second. That means frequency is equal to half H. That means 0.5 Hz. And it is placed in a uniform magnetic field, and the magnetic field is equal to here B is equal to 0.01 Tesla, placed to the axis of the rotation of the coil, placed perpendicular here. What is the maximum voltage generated in the coil? So when a coil is rotated in a uniform magnetic field, at that time the induced EMF is equal to NBA omega sin omega t. But this is the maximum. Sine function will becomes at that time the maximum voltage, the maximum EMF is equal to NBA omega. NBA omega means 2 pi nu. So substitute what are the values given. N is equal to 100 and the magnetic field is equal to here 0.01, that means 1 by 100 into area is equal to 0.1 and 2 pi is equal to 3.14 and the frequency is equal to half or 0.5. So for our convenient 2 get cancel, 100 cancel, 0.1 into 3.14 means that is 0.314 volts. It is a maximum voltage induced. And next go for the problem. Obtain the expression for the magnetic energy stored in a solenoid in terms of B magnetic field, area and length of the solenoid, and how does this magnetic energy compare with the electrostatic energy stored in a capacitor. So all of you read the question clearly. Obtain the expression for the magnetic energy stored in a solenoid in terms of BAL. So the magnetic energy formula half Li square, the magnetic energy stored. So you have to take the solenoid. So it is a solenoid. You have to change the current, the flux is changes and the back EMF is induced. So against of the work done against of this back EMF is stored as the magnetic potential energy. So that is the magnetic energy is equal to half Li square. So it is a solenoid. At the time the self inductance N phi is directly proportional to I and N phi is equal to L into I. So for this case the capital N and small n, how they related. Small n is equal to total number of turns per unit length. That's why you have to capital N is equal to small n into L, and phi is equal to B dot A, BA into Li. And what is here B means? So for this solenoid, B is equal to mu naught Ni. So substitute here all the variables. N, L, B means mu naught Ni, and again A, that is equal to Li. Compare these two. L is equal to, what is that? N into N, N square, and mu naught N square, mu naught again A into L. So you have to simply remove I both sides. L is equal to mu naught N square, mu naught N square AL. So it is the L value. You have to substitute in the magnetic energy this expression. So half L means here mu naught N square AL, and again I means from this expression I is equal to B by mu naught N whole square, means here B square, mu naught square, N square. So what is the value? N square get cancelled. Half, so mu naught one time get cancelled. 2 mu naught B square AL. It is the magnetic potential energy. It is, you have to take it as a magnetic potential energy is UB. And similarly in case of, it is up to problem A, again in next problem in that B. How does this magnetic energy compare with the electrostatic energy stored in a capacitor? So you have to refer the page number 201 in your textbook. So magnetic energy, it is the expression electrostatic energy stored in a capacitor is equal to UE is equal to half epsilon naught E square into AD. So then density means energy per unit volume, that means UB by AL. Here half 2 mu naught B square, and here UE by AD, that is equal to half epsilon naught E square. And here mu naught means permeability and epsilon naught means permittivity. So it is half of both are common. And here these energies are directly related to their squares of the field strength. So here and here, in case of magnetism, in case of the electricity, so the energies are directly proportional to the square of their field strengths. So this is the problem 9.10. And we have the 9.9. Two concentric circular coils, one of the smaller radius R1 and the other of larger radius R2, such that R1 is very much lesser than R2, are placed coaxially with centers coinciding, obtain the mutual inductance of the arrangement. So here two concentric circular coils are given. Two concentric circular coils. So if it is, I have to take it as it is a circular, outer circular, it is the coil having the radius R2. You have to take it R2. So two concentric circles in that a small circle. Why? Because here the condition is given RT is very much greater than R1. So mutual inductance means if suppose the current will be flowing through the outer coil, I2 is the current flowing. So then the magnetic field, according to Biot-Savart law, so for a closed coil, the magnetic field or the magnetic induction due to the current carrying circular coil for any axis is equal to, if suppose like this, so any axis, already you derived this expression. So what is that? B is equal to mu naught N I R square by 2 into R square plus X square whole power 3 by 2. It is the formula. It is the X distance, it is the R distance you have to take in. So if suppose at the center means at the time the x term goes to 0. Simply based on this equation, B is equal to mu naught n I r square divided by 2 r cube. So r square r, so that means mu naught n I upon 2r is the expression for the magnetic field. For a coil, it is not a solenoid. Here the question, two concentric circular coil, it's not a solenoid. So due to this coil, if suppose the current is flowing through the outer coil, automatically magnetic field induced. So if suppose like this, it is like this manner, the current will be flowing along your thumb finger, gives the magnetic field. So at the time the magnetic field due to I2 is equal to mu naught I2 upon 2r. So here how many number of turns of the coil is equal to only single turn. That's why I will take it as a mu naught Ni. So here n is equal to 1. Here n is equal to 1. So the expression is equal to mu naught I by 2r. Mu naught I by 2r. That's why magnetic field due to I2 is equal to B2 is equal to mu naught I2 upon 2r2. So here current is flowing in outer coil. Due to this current we are inducing the magnetic field. That's why magnetic field due to this current I2. So according to Biot-Savart law, the magnetic field B2 is equal to mu naught I2 upon 2r2. So it is the expression for the magnetic field. So what is the magnetic flux? So this, due to this current, you have to link it to the inner coil. That is, you have to link it with the inner coil. Then the magnetic flux for the inner coil due to outer coil is equal to phi is equal to B2A1. That is, you have to link it with the inner coil, that magnetic field. So phi 1 is equal to here B2, the inner coil, the outer coil. Due to outer coil current, the magnetic field B2 is equal to mu naught I2 upon 2r2, and again the area of the inner coil is equal to pi r1 square. So pi 1 is equal to, so mu naught this pi r1 square upon 2r1 into I2. But in case of the self-inductance, pi is directly proportional to I, and pi is equal to Li in case of self-inductance. In case of mutual inductance, Mi. So pi is directly proportional to I in case of single term. So pi is equal to Mi. So similarly pi is equal to here, so one coil due to another, that is equal to M12 I2. But here M12 is equal to M21, that is equal to mu naught pi r1 square upon by 2r1. So 2r2 it is, sorry, 2r2. So once again, so this formula is very important. This formula is derived from the Biot-Savart law. B2 is equal to mu naught I2 upon 2r2. Okay, bye.